Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Coaster101 podcast. I'm Andrew Stillwell, and I've got three very special guests with me on the podcast this week. In their last show, they dropped an F-bomb on me. They wondered why they hadn't been on the show already. So we're going to get into all that, but I do want to introduce Marcus, Mike, and Marc from the Drunk Riders podcast. If you're not listening, be sure to check them out. A little bit of a similar show to ours, but also a very different show. But three of the best guys I've met so far in this hobby. Guys, how's it going?
Hey, what's up?
It is going.
It's, you know.
I mean, we're doing the cooking by the book, man.
Yeah.
Don't tell Bob. Bob will go mad.
So, you know, for most of our listeners, I feel like they're probably pretty familiar with you guys, but I don't care who wants to kind of lead it off. But what can you tell us kind of about the Drunk Riders podcast? You know, how did you guys, I guess we'll start, how'd the podcast get its start?
Well, first of all, I want to interrupt real quick. What are you guys drinking?
I was going to do that, damn it.
Okay. Oh, that's fair.
So because we are guests on this wonderful show, and Andrew, thank you so much for having us. For those who don't know, I am Mike. And because I think so highly of your show, I am drinking
Blue Moon.
No, even better, a Genesee Light. Oh my God!
Go.
Finally, yes.
Oh
I haven't
my!
had a sip yet.
Oh.
I don't drink this, but I'm doing this for you because I think so highly of your show.
I'm gonna take it as a compliment.
Oh my God! How do people? Oh my! How do people drink this stuff?
Hey, ship it back up here. I'll drink it for you.
Oh God!
I'm gonna drink it out. Oh my God!
So we already had one Blue Moon reference, and luckily that is what I am drinking tonight.
There we
I
go.
have to be the quality drinker in this. What is going on? I have
good beer for our recording, bud.
Okay. I mean, I have two. I got one special for this guy. We all love C101. I'm drinking a 21st Amendment Brewery Hell or High Watermelon wheat beer.
Ooh,
that does sound good.
That's a good brewery too.
Oh yeah, it is. I just found them out because my local gas station finally got them.
Wait, what was it? I wasn't paying attention because you were talking.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that. I'll remember.
So watermelon wheat beer, 21st Amendment Brewery.
Oh, okay, 21st. Good. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm drinking a Coke Zero.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
If it was
You
a
know.
Dr. Pepper Zero, I'd be like, you are that guy that who shall no longer be named.
Oh,
Our former
Co-host.
oh.
Who cannot be described.
Yes.
So
The mystery and intrigue.
So anyway, the Drunk Riders podcast is we're not talking about past hosts. What's the story behind the Drunk Riders? Somebody get into it.
So I'll yeah. So all right. So this is what happened. All right. We were part of Coaster101, all three of us, and I was thinking about. I was a team member, still am to this day, actually. On that.
Wait, you are?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Okay.
It's like the firm; nobody ever leaves.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, I was like, let's just do a podcast for Coaster101. And like you, I could never really get a solid, another person to really commit to do it. I didn't want to do it alone. It felt weird. It'd been messy for me. So eventually, I've known these two lovely gentlemen for a decade and a half now. So, and we play games every night. We hang out often, go to parks often, talk about roller coasters, and we drink all the time.
Mhm.
So eventually it kind of just happened organically where we went, why don't we do a podcast? And so it's because I was struggling to find people, and we basically do a podcast every night when we're talking. It's playing
Yeah.
games. So it's like, well, why don't we just record it? And that's exactly how it started. One day in, was it May of 2018? I think it was.
June of 2018. Was it 2018 or 2019?
I think it was 2018.
Jeez, we've really been doing this for almost 4 years.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Lord. Hold on. I know when it was because our first episode was actually us talking about my Gal Gadot Wonder Woman down at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. You're right. It was May of 2018.
There you go.
Jeez.
Wow.
And Marcus, I think you had been talking about wanting to do a podcast for about that long a time beforehand.
For years, I'd wanted to do a podcast, and we just it never came to be. And then these guys agreed, and then our first episode happened.
There you go. And, as of this recording, and we're recording actually right before you guys record, so thank you for taking the time, of course.
No, of course.
How many episodes deep are you in before this one you guys record tonight?
Tonight will be 165.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, I think we're somewhere in the 70s. I think I stopped counting, but we'll catch you eventually, one of these days, maybe.
You got a lot of legwork to do there, bud.
That's got some short episodes if you're going to do that.
Yeah, we've been almost weekly.
Yes.
All right.
Like this last year, we did 46 weeks of 50. How many weeks are in a year? 56?
52.
52.
Oh, wow, that's even better than I thought. Yeah, we did 46 of 52.
Nice.
We only missed a few weeks here and there, so. And even when we knew we'd miss, we usually recorded something in advance, like on a Tuesday or Wednesday if it was a weekend. So
Nice. And your show traditionally drops Fridays, yes?
Saturday morning.
Saturdays.
Yep.
This shows how up to date I am on my podcast listening. So I listen to you guys probably as often as you listen to our show. So it does work out. I feel like.
Whoa! I listen to everybody for like 10 to 15 seconds. So
Hey, you count us. You give me a download. That's all that matters.
hey, no.
So
I've been catching up. Real talk. I've been jumping in some of your episodes. So I mean, you know, it's when you record. You feel like you're doing a whole lot of effort right there, and listening to somebody else talk about it. It's like you're already talking about the same stuff. It's just a different viewpoint. So,
yes, and we joke back and forth on social media, and again, they are at the Drunk Riders on Twitter, as we are Coaster101 on Twitter. We joke back and forth pretty constantly how we kind of pull the same guests from time to time, and sometimes, and it's in a several week span. I know you guys had Adam Sandy on the podcast. He said very nice things about us like 2 weeks ago at this point. And I think every episode in 2022 so far, I've mentioned Adam Sandy at some point. So this is the Adam Sandy mark in this episode. But, who are some of the other notable guests you guys have had recently?
oh, the giant elephant in the room, Jake Kilcup from RMC.
That's right.
Yeah, that was a fun episode to record with him.
It was really, if you have not listened to that, if you're discovering Drunk Riders for the first time, go back into their archives, hit subscribe, mash that subscribe button, go find the interview with Jake from RMC. I downloaded that before getting on a plane. Like, I wanted to listen to it that bad where I was like, I'm going to listen to this on a plane. And so I had to download it in advance. Really, really fun episode. Jake was great.
Yep.
And
he was mesmerizing.
Yep.
He had a really good rapport with the three of you guys, which it's very easy to do. It's like your podcast is just like you said, just kind of hanging out, drinking with your buddies, talking coasters. So he was really, really good. He still won't respond to our tweets trying to get on this show. So if you guys want to put in a good word, that would be really cool.
So here's the trick. Here's how we got him on. So at IAPA this year, I was walking around with a backpack, and this is about the time I am a few minutes late on my False Idol plug. False Idol Brewing in North Ocean Hills, Texas. We are not a paid sponsor, but I should be. I was walking around with beer in my backpack at IAPA on the floor. and I had an idea. I wanted to give some beers out. We had just had our Velocity event where we got a pallet of beer. And so I was like, there's a few people I want to give this to, pass it out. Gave it to Adam Sandy as another thank you for coming on the show and all that. And then we walked up to the RMC booth and Jake was there. It's like, hey, you want to be on our podcast? Here's a 4-pack of beer. And he's like, yes.
Here's my
so
card.
That's what it took.
And reach out.
Nice. Well, I don't have any custom logoed beer. I don't even want to get into logistics of how you guys transported a pallet of beer to Orlando from Texas, but it's
yes.
It was a pallet of olive oil from Texas, right?
Yes.
Actually, that was an actual pallet of beer, not a pallet of olive oil. But we'll get into the semantics not on episode 1 of us being on.
That's fine. There's time. You guys are always welcome back. And I do apologize for the delay in getting you on. I think we've only been talking about this, Marcus, since November 2019, before we even had a podcast.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Talking about getting you on and yeah.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Yep.
Oh man. But out of this podcast, you have a pretty, I would say, pretty loyal. I don't want to use the word rabid because I feel like that has a negative connotation, but you've got a really good, strong fan base. Like what is it about your show that kind of you think brings the coaster casuals or the fans in, that is kind of different from any other podcast out there?
I'll jump on this one, guys. So I think it's because we are just so inherently us on the podcast. Like when we had our first event last year during that ice storm in Texas, when we got an Airbnb thing and, 12, 15 people will come. 35 people RSVP'd and we're like, wait, what is going on? And then the ice storm that hit Texas, knocked 10 of them out or a dozen people out. And they showed up and every single one of them made the same comment. You guys are the exact same on the podcast than you are in person.
Yep.
And I think it's just, we don't just try and hide that we are simply just a coaster podcast. All of us have very unique lives outside of this. We all have families, careers, other hobbies, and we all do other things. And we bring that to the show with us and bring those other areas. So we're not just sitting there talking about how dragsters launch speed varies. And if you get a rollback, you're a lucky SOB. And then... or crying about how the train in front of you got a rollback and you've never had a chance to get a rollback on Dragster since then. We're not one of those shows.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I definitely said that.
I've literally said that story about 15 times. So, I think it's just, we bring that. There's that weird demographic when you talk about the coaster fans is you have the older crew, the old acers. And then you have the young crew, the teens, but there's that really neglected area of 21 to 40, which is kind of our wheelhouse because that's us who like to have a beer or two at the park, have other things going on. And then just, it's not all about running around and getting every wacky worm or whatever. It's just, we're there to have fun. And I mean, that's why we tailgate in parking lots.
Yep. Yep, and you see it a lot from our fans too, because a lot of them, surprised, especially at Velocity, how much a lot of them were just like us too.
Yeah,
right. It's just a bunch of people that are just they're nerdy, but they like to have other things to do. They like to do other things and share a lot, and that's exactly what we've had from every single Stumble event. It's just a new person that gives something a new viewpoint on the world, and they're still just having out to have some fun.
Yep.
I love that. It's great. And again, I think that's one of the reasons that, we just kind of have this banter back and forth. It's, we've got the similar interests, obviously big into sports and other things. And there is more to life than roller coasters. I will say that. I think I'll get shot on a roller coaster podcast for saying that, but it is kind of refreshing to, again, every podcast isn't for everybody. I mean, if you
Right.
want the hardcore nerd talk, that's out there. You want the the interviews. It's us and you guys and a couple other people who do the interviews. Coaster Radio is another one who does that. But there's truly something for everybody in the podcast space, and I think you guys have really kind of landed that niche very well of not the outcasts, but the cool coaster people. I don't know. Is that the best way to say it?
I would definitely not call anything that we do cool. But that is probably the first time I've ever been called cool in my life. So I appreciate you. I'm going to hold on to that. And I'm going to use that. Absolutely, I will.
Yeah, but you're in the ballpark though, because like as we got our show going and we started interacting with more and more people, we'd have conversations and you'd hear people and they'd be like, well, I only joined this coaster club to get into Hollywood Nights. And we're thinking to ourselves, like, so you joined a community, but you don't partake in that community. You're just using it as a means to an end. Well, here, why don't we start a community then?
Yeah. And that's actually a really good segue into the kind of the creation of the Drunk Riders affiliated, created, whatever verb we want to use here, your very own coaster club, which is, again, for a website to have its own coaster club, there are some websites that go by initials that aren't C101. Starts with T, ends with R, has a P in the middle of it, who have their own coaster club, and it's got a
that was amazing.
There's a little bit there's some negative connotations. You've heard the horror stories and things like that, but what was it about your own coaster club that you guys were like, yeah, we should do this?
So I think, and you described a little bit ago with the rabid fan base, as it were. We found a lot of people that had a lot in common that we knew we could share a lot with, right? Being together, having fun at parks.
Yeah, and they felt like they didn't have a home already.
Yeah, and a lot of people felt, because of the way our show is, right? We're very non-edited. We're very conversational. They felt like they could relate to us and have fun with us. So with that, when we had our El Stumble numero uno last February, when we invited anybody who wanted to go, including our lovely friends / rivals, Coasters and Brews, and they all ended up showing up, even with the snowstorm. So a lot of people, and I think that goes to show, there's a lot of people still came, even though Six Flags was closed that day. All we did was went to SeaWorld and hung out and drank. And
ZDTs.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys made your way to every FEC in Texas, I feel like, if I recall from that trip.
Oh, that was my first hamster wheel that ended really poorly.
Yes.
The first time was great. The second time, not so much. No, but Six Flags Fiesta Texas had closed that weekend due to the ice storm and causing some damage. So our big pull was to go ride Wonder Woman, and SeaWorld was a complete secondary, and we had such a blast. I mean, it was deserted. But that was kind of the inkling of like, wait, we might have something here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And everybody was together, and everybody, I mean, we basically had 25 people that were together for 3 straight days, essentially.
Yeah.
Wow. And then, progressing from there, obviously that first stumble in Texas, you guys, did you make it to the Alamo too? I'm trying to remember the
pictures. We did go to the Alamo. Yes, we did. Yeah. We absolutely did.
Well, I mean, we stood outside of it, but yeah.
Some of us were looking for the basement and never found it. So,
oh my gosh.
Well, at least you remember that experience.
Yes.
Thank you. But remembering the Alamo.
I appreciate you for that.
I'm here for it. But after that first group trip in Texas, you guys were like, we might have something here. And you went through the approval process to become an official coaster club at Hollywood Nights.
Yep.
How does that work? How does one form an official coaster club where a park will recognize you as such?
So One, ask.
Fair.
That was the first part.
Mhm.
But they have certain stipulations, Holiday World specifically, on what they allow as a coaster club. So, I mean, if you look at their list of approved clubs, they hadn't had a new. And this is Leah Cook said this. They hadn't had a new person or new club attached to their event in 5-6 years.
Mhm.
And they were down to add something new and interesting, and that's what we were trying to provide. So with us, it was a decent number of members, right? You gotta have at least a $25 fee. You gotta have, of course, a code of conduct and all that fun stuff that comes with anybody, and you have to have a membership card with an expiration date, etc., so people can renew. And really, it's as simple as that. And it's not overly complicated. And you look at everybody else. I mean, I think Pleasure Beach, their club from the UK, they got into Hollywood Nights as well.
Mhm.
So it's us and them got in, and that was really all. It's pretty simple. It was actually more straightforward than I thought it would be. The hardest part was actually because they're all busy over there because they're running an amusement park. Was some of the communications because emails can be dropped. We all know. We all work. You guys, you forget an email, you overlook an email, stuff like that.
I never do that actually. So
Okay,
that may just be a you thing, Marcus. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong.
It happens.
Yeah.
And so, kind of Buzz Bars got its creation, and the website for Buzz Bars is at buzzbars.com.
Yep, nice and easy.
Easy, perfect. And you guys are still doing, still looking for accepting members, $25 fee. And what does that fee get you?
So it gets you, number one, into any event in the nation that requires that we have at least submitted access to. Access to that.
So like Hollywood Nights. Let's see, we got.
I was going to pull up the list real quick. So
Coaster Rodeo.
Coast
what
by
else
the
do we
Ocean
have?
over at Maury Spears.
Yes.
Keys of the Kingdom. And then also, on top of that, is just anything, and we didn't do it so much last year, but this year I think we may push a little more. And guys, feel free to call me an idiot.
You're an idiot, but go ahead.
I appreciate it. We're having, hopefully you're going to have more stuff this year to do with us. So last year it was more of a, you just get to come with us and hang out. You get a shirt that comes with membership too. So, but we're hoping to do more.
That's news to me. Still waiting on mine.
Hey, listen,
Man, send him a shirt.
Yeah, Marcus, this is all the shirt. So if any of you have a shirt issue, direct that to Marcus. That is his domain. I just do all the hotel planning and everything. So to give you an example of what the membership gets you. So when we had Velocistumble this past November at Universal, worked with the parks to get hotel rates. So our $25 membership allowed you access to the Buzz Bar Hotel or the Buzz Bar rate at Hard Rock Hotel and
Aventura
at Universal Studios. Now, Hard Rock is one of the premium hotels, so you get the express lane if you stay in it. It was $300 off a night by using the rate that we had, plus you had express lane. It was for 2 nights you had a $800 value depending on who you were. Or how many people you had stay there for $25. And I mean, even Hotel Aventura one night, you were making up way more than your membership. So that's our main spot right now. Now we also had a walk back at King's Dominion last year of Twisted Timbers. So that was also included for Buzzword members. We're trying to get more things like that moving forward, but the hotel discounts is absolutely with all the traveling that we do is something that we try and include and get some block rates for people to take advantage of.
Got it. And you guys formed this club with YouTube channel Coasters and Brews. What was it about those guys where you were like, I could imagine myself hanging out with these guys more often. We should form a club.
Yeah, so I think, now, correct me if I misspeak here, but I'm pretty sure they just called us out on Twitter I think it was 2019 Keys to the Kingdom. Before then, they called us out on Twitter, like, who would win in a beer pong match? So then Marcus was the only one that got to go that year. Or was it 2020? I don't remember.
I think it was 2020.
It was 2020, yeah.
Yeah. So Marcus was the only one of us that was able to go that year. So he played them in beer pong. And it just kind of became a thing. We kept on going back and forth with them on the internet. Mike and I got to meet them down at El Stumble, and they're just like us, very nice, personable guys. Like to drink beer and ride coasters and have tons of fun. So we're pretty much the same brand with a ton of overlap and a fan base. So It makes a lot of sense to join up with them.
I love it. And I think when we were talking, I interviewed you guys about Buzz Bars, and we'll link that in the show notes. Was there a conversation that it was like their brand fits you guys more and your brand fits them more, kind of like they should actually be the Drunk Riders and you guys should just be Coasters and Brews?
Absolutely, yes. That's a very real thing that I said, and I stand by that statement. Any chance I can to make it, I stand by that statement.
I love it. Well, I do want to talk about these group trips, which you guys have very playfully named Stumbles, and then there's the smaller, more brewery-focused Wobbles. But what can you tell us about the Stumbles and Wobbles you guys have planned for 2022?
All right, so first Stumble is Stumble 325 at Carowinds.
I'll be there.
You'll be there, and I can't wait.
Let's go.
We're going to snuggle. That's the weekend of April 9th, so we're going to do Carowinds, and because Pantheon's going to be open, some other folks are going to go BG Dubs, right? All that fun stuff. So, but that's the first one at Carowinds at Stumble 325. So, and then we're scooting over to Valley Fair for our Valley Stumble. Mm-hmm. That's the weekend of June 25th. And we're going to spend time there doing Mall of America as well, scoot over there. But a weekend that you can't go wrong with a weekend at Valley Fair, especially because Kelsey is fantastic, number one.
She's great.
She is fantastic. And then, not many people get to go there. So,
yeah, it's a real good excuse to get people up there.
Yep. And to add a lot of creds to folks, because that's got a pretty decent cred count that you're not going to find your way up there unless you have a reason to go. So,
right. And I was looking at this trip, just before you guys even announced your trip. You're only 3 hours from the Iowa parks, so Adventureland, the new Lost Island, things like that. Just not to if your members are listening, I mean, not to say that could be a full on long weekend, but you could probably get all the Iowa parks in a day if you really, really wanted to and were jazzed up about it.
Oh yeah. When we visited there almost a year ago now, our buddy Dan came with us, but he scooted out early afternoon and headed down to Arnold's Park.
Yep.
So easily doable.
Yep.
Very cool. And following the trip to Minnesota, where are you guys headed next?
So the one after that is probably our most ambitious one to date. Easily our most ambitious one to date. We thought Universal was going to be big. We are going to Energylandia in Poland, and that's going to be July 14th, 15th, and 16th. We're also doing Legendia while we're over there, so it's a 3-day trip. Now, this is the beginning of a much larger trip for myself. And it had just grown to the point I was like, let's turn this into a Stumble. Mm-hmm. And I think the last I checked, there was a shockingly large number of people interested. Yeah. Over 30 people already have filled out the sign-up form. We blasted out once. So there's obviously interest in going to Poland to ride Zadra and Abyssus and all the other awesome coasters that is at Energylandia. And then you have Let Coaster, obviously, at Legendia. So that is our first trip across the pond. And then I always get the next two mixed up, guys.
Okay, so Stumble on my mind. Obviously a play on Georgia on my mind. We're going to Six Flags Over Georgia and Fun Spot America. That is the weekend of September 17th. Obviously, we're going to Fun Spot America for Airy Force One, and
the other coaster they've got there whose name I can't even remember,
I forget they have another one there. I know.
Yeah, it's it's a clone of the Hurricane at Fun Spot in Kissimmee. And a couple of our guys were down there. They went to Six Flags Over Georgia and did Fun Spot. This was pre-RMC announcement. And the general consensus was, we've never been so scared on a coaster in our lives. And
that sums it up pretty nicely.
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. I like it.
And then to wrap up the year following the trip to Georgia,
Mike.
Oh, this was a fun name on this one. So we are going back to San Antonio. This is going to be the weekend of November 5th for Dr. Diabolical's Boogaloo. It was originally El Stumble 2 Dr. Diabolical's Boogaloo, but that doesn't fit on the poster. So we're going to do Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Obviously, check out the new dive coaster. SeaWorld San Antonio and Codaland, which they're going like Energylandia rate right now of adding coasters, which feels insane because they just teased another one. So, that is the Stumble schedule. We got a lot planned this year. I know we're all really excited for it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I am thrilled, and I'm excited again just to kind of, again, at that Carowinds one, I'm going to try and make it up to Valley Fair as well, but just to kind of hang out with you guys, the whole crew, crowd, whatever we want to say, and I go back to the trivia night that Bryant Coaster 365 on Twitter hosted the other week. That was just a blast, and I know that's a lot of you guys and your membership and things like that. And to kind of just quickly be embraced by that community was really fun. And even though I didn't win, and neither did Marcus.
Kiss my ass. Wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Hold on.
No, you're fine.
Right.
It's just let it rip. But it's a lot. That's a lot nicer than what you said about me on your podcast. So it's fine.
First of all, I said you're a wonderful lady. Wait, what?
Yeah.
What? Billy, be nice to him.
That started with fuck you. So
there's your one. We got our one.
He was slapping that on there no matter what. Yep. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I was, and okay. I'll bleep it because it'll be funny. But
okay,
perfect.
Now we got the one.
It's all good. But again, it's you guys again. You kind of have created this coaster family, as it were, and I'm excited to kind of get to be a part of that once, maybe twice, maybe 3 times this year. So very much looking forward to it.
As many times as you want.
Yeah, you're always welcome.
I will do it. I need my shirt, Marcus.
Hey, I'll
2X.
I could. I'll send you the one that I'll use later tonight. How about that?
I don't want your used shirt.
Oh my Marcus.
Oh boy.
I do want to touch on one thing real quick that we haven't really touched on is the wobbles that you mentioned.
Yes.
So wobbles are they're basically our mini stumbles. And we're going to use it as an opportunity to really just kind of focus more bar crawl, and then, hey, let's run in cred run real quick because the park may not be the most, it's not going to have the biggest additions for the year, or it's not going to be the biggest pull. So our first one, in true TDR Buzz Bars fashion, is going to be at False Idol Memorial Day weekend this year in May. So that's going to be weekend of May 27th. I'm already working with them on some awesome things. So this is going to be something we're going to plan on doing probably at least one more time throughout the year. Think of it as we're not going to do a stumble for Michigan's Adventure, but we might go to Michigan's Adventure for 2 hours and then do a wobble in Grand Rapids and drink all weekend.
Yep.
There you go.
The highlight is definitely going to be the bar crawl through Grand Rapids.
And then, or think of it, so like another big poll that people are coming for this one is you have a big concert going on that weekend. It's more of the social aspect of it than the park aspect. So we're not going to get 100 people showing up to these. But this is going to be the more close-knit where you can make those better connections. And the one thing that we've seen that we just, kind of took a step back from, and we had this conversation last week, was if we could see people planning trips together from what we started and outside of the stumbles and the wobbles and all the other things that we did, what we've done by creating this network of people and this group has worked. And that's what we're seeing is, the when we were young emo fest going to Vegas, a bunch of people who are in the club all are going to that. There was a trip to Silver Dollar City that I'm not going to comment on the name of it that Jack was on, who was on last week. They organized that. And that was all part of, they're using the Discord to do that. They met through the club. And it's an awesome thing to see that you can have these other meetups happen throughout, just from a shared interest of coasters turns into music and beer and life and just general travel. It's pretty awesome to see.
And podcasts.
And podcasts. Yeah, that one. Because podcasts are important and we listen to podcasts.
Yes. Well, I want to ask you guys one more thing, and then we're going to get into some questions, because one of my favorite things about you guys' show is you have listener questions every week, and you've got that audience who will just throw you the most ridiculous curveballs from time to time.
Yep, every week.
But, obviously, you guys, I've been on your show. You guys have been on, or you guys have now been on our show, my show, however we want to call this show. But, what does it mean to you to kind of see the greater coaster community coming together to kind of create this? Just, again, it's not like you guys mentioned kind of the generational gap here. There's the young kids, the Jack Lathrops of the world who are, the young coaster kids. And then there's the old ace dudes with their denim jackets. But for this 20 to 40 set, what does it mean to you guys to see kind of all of us coming together and being friendly? And there's really no actual competition, not that I'm aware of. If I'm speaking out of turn here, let me know. But what do you guys think about how everybody's kind of cool with each other and there's everybody's friends basically?
It's really great to see, because it feels like a modernized version of all the message boards from 15 years ago.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's a lot of what I'm seeing, especially in our friend group and our with buzz bars and all that, and even not in buzz bars, just people that we associate with and we know. Just the friendliness, working together, all that is always great to see. Because you might not have always seen that in the past. We're part of Coaster Force. They had rivals, but I don't think really we have a rival, because we're kind of just, unapologetically us, as Mike said. And we don't associate with some gossip. We shit post for the sake of shit posting. Right?
Makes sense.
We troll
Try and
people.
keep it more lighthearted.
Yeah, it's there's no, because it's a hobby after all. As Mike said, we do this for the fun of it. This is our what we do after we work, and spend time with our families. Is we go ride roller coasters from time to time. So. With that being said, yeah, it's great to see everybody coming together. Of course, there's always some bad apples here and there, but you can never eliminate that fully. But a lot of people are very happy, and it's good to see in this day and age of people trying to be semi-happy, at least.
I love it. This has been your moment of zen. Now we're going to get into some ridiculous nonsense and true.
No, this is where we excel.
Yes. Let's go.
There will be tangents. There will be arguments. There could be swearing and yelling and all sorts of stuff.
Okay, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. Before we get into this, do you guys have a message for Angelo Giles if he happens to tune into this podcast?
God, I hope he puts a shirt on for once.
Better put a damn.
No one needs to see that.
Have you met him before, by the way?
I have not. No, I know him strictly in name from your podcast.
Oh man,
which is so great.
This is phenomenal. I love it.
He's his own character of your podcast.
It's like Kevin. People don't think he's real until all of a sudden he popped up in our Discord. People are like, "Wait, what?"
Plot twist, that was Kevin with Angelo Giles as his screen name, and it's all a ruse.
My God.
That would be hilarious.
Oh my God.
Angelo's not a tall guy. As in somebody took the top half of him off, and what's left is what we have as a
Wow. You're gonna do that to the man?
Yep.
Wow.
I did it before. I did it in real power. I was like, wait, where'd the top half of you go?
I'll never forget the first time I met him. Was at Six Flags Great Adventure this past year, and all you guys were riding Zoom and Jaro, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to do that drop tower." And
oh yeah, you are.
no, I was not, sir. No, thank you. And he's standing there, and it's me, Kyrie, and Steven. Now, I am the shortest one in this group, and I'm 6'2". So we all walk over, and he's like, "Damn, you guys are tall." And then Marcus rolls up and he goes, "Where's the other half of you, man?" And it was,
Oh gosh,
yes.
Angelo's phenomenal, though. I love him.
that's awesome. All right, let's get into some questions. First one is from Keegan, who wants to know what your favorite coaster of all time is and why is it Velocicoaster? I've not ridden Velocicoaster yet, and I think I might be the only enthusiast to not do it. So Fury 325 is the answer, and the reason why it's not Velocicoaster is because I haven't ridden it yet.
Oh, it is number 2 for me, behind the Vengeance of Steel.
It's another one I haven't ridden. Oh my gosh,
What?
really? Yeah, I was.
Wow.
I've told this story on the podcast a couple of times before. I was there for Coaster Mania. That's their event, right?
Yeah.
And it was the year it opened. We were there for ERT. I was ready to ride in the front row, and body dimensions being what they were, I was like millimeters away from the restraint clicking, and I got walked out of the front row during ERT at a Coaster Enthusiast event. So,
no!
Put that on the bingo card. That was a good one.
So I do not have that coaster as well, and that was a walk of low for me as well. So I feel your pain there. Hopefully for both of us, better days are ahead the next time we visit Cedar Point and get to ride it. But for me, it is my number one coaster.
Velocicoaster.
Velocicoaster is, yes.
Yes.
Yep,
So.
I've got it at number 4 behind
crazy ass
Steel Vengeance, Lightning Rod, and Voyage.
All right. Well, Keegan, I'm sorry that we went 1 for 4 on the favorites of Velocicoaster, but maybe that'll change. We'll see what happens. I got to get down to Orlando one of these days eventually.
It can't be stated enough how good of a ride it is, though. Like, even though it is number 4 for me, it's still just a masterpiece of a ride.
I mean, anybody who's ridden Voyage at night just knows it's high praise to be that close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
True.
You shut your mouth.
No.
Next question is from Dylan of the 1010 podcast. He wants to know, what is the best Cedar Fair and Six Flags parks? I'll let you guys go first, and then I will have an answer after you do.
Okay, I'm going to poke at this one. Are we talking about just for coasters, or are we talking about just in general? Are we just going our opinion?
You go however you want to answer this question. I think there's best is such a subjective term, and you can look at this any way. I mean, the best Cedar Fair park in attendance is Cedar Point. Do I think it's the best? Not really.
No, Canada's Wonderland is the best for attendance. And Knott's is ahead of Cedar Point. So,
somebody's not been paying attention.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we're calling you out.
somebody doesn't read the TIA reports. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
But
well, to be fair.
Okay. So I guess I'll start. I'm gonna go. Oh god. Best Cedar Fair park.
Great America.
Mark.
CGA.
Now it's time for me to look up flights to go slap Mark again. For those of you playing the TDR bingo at home, and I can get there for No, nope, not going to do it. I'm going to say...
He's got to get them all riled up first.
Yeah, you got to get me real riled up for that. Six Flags Park, I'm going to be a little biased. I think the best one is Fiesta Texas. It's gorgeous. It's got a generally great lineup. Coaster-wise, I'd maybe go Great Adventure, but I just had an amazing day. I had one amazing day there, so I understand there's, a little bit of difference there. Cedar Fair, God. You're going to make me choose a Cedar Fair Park, aren't you?
Yep.
I guess
I'm not. 1010 Podcast Dylan.
1010 Podcast Dylan's going to make me choose. I'm going to go Knott's. I'm just going to be basic.
Okay.
Knott's.
Six Flags. I mean, we did have a phenomenal time at Great Adventure this year.
Yep.
That was a surprise. I hadn't been there in a hot minute, so definitely tell you my least favorite.
Oh my gosh.
Six Flags American.
Oh, that's an easy answer.
Burn in hell. Anybody
You don't have to go home, but you got to get up on out of here.
Six Flags. Yeah, I mean, honestly, a Great Adventure off the top of my head. If I had to like go to one right now, yeah, I'd say Great Adventure. Cedar Fair, probably Cedar Point. Yeah, probably Cedar Point. Although I do love me some VF. Carowinds is a good time. Of course, we're going back. Dominion's hot garbage. So they're great people, though. Great people. Rides are lackluster. Well, not.
Twisted Timbers is incredible, and I-305 is incredible. So you can shut up.
305 exists.
305 is incredible.
It is a thing that is there. It is a piece of steel.
It is incredible. You are wrong, sir.
It's a piece of steel at the front of the park.
This guy.
For sure.
You are. It's not even at the front of the park. It's in the back corner of the park. Don't even start with me, sir.
That shows how much I care about it because it's in the front back corner.
All right, so I mean, for Cedar Fair, you can't not say Cedar Point, in my opinion. Like, no matter which way you slice it,
fanboy.
And that's what pains me to say that.
All right, Molly Orange, get out of here.
Oh my God. Okay, but best Six Flags Park, Fiesta Texas. I was only there for a few hours, but had a fantastic time. Incredible lineup. And basically everything that Mike said, just such a unique location. Close second would be Magic Mountain, just because there's just that feeling you get when you're there.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm going to go, let's see, Cedar Fair. I'm going to start. I love Carowinds, obviously, my home park. Very, good coaster collection. The live entertainment's good. The food's good. I love Carowinds. We'll go there multiple times a year. Loved my one visit to Knott's several years ago. That Ghost Town Alive area, really great. I actually am going to go with Kings Island. And I think I was there, coaster stock last year, had a really, really good time. And that was without a ride on one of you guys' favorite coasters, Orion. So I really, really enjoyed Kings Island, and I feel like it's, of the Cedar Fair parks, I had the best experience there. I think they've got a really good lineup of rides. The Beast, if you're riding in the right car, is awesome. What they've done to Racer is great. So it's you guys okay?
No.
You went all quiet on me there for a second.
I think we just all three of us collectively stroked.
Oh, sorry. Well,
I mean, I didn't. Speak for yourself, Marcus.
Hey, listen. They blocked us on Twitter. That's all you need to say.
Okay. Well,
and that was Mark who got us blocked, not even me.
Yeah.
That was Mark.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. You talked about the trees being removed from Mystic Timbers.
No, that was my personal account.
Oh shit! Then it was me.
Oh gosh.
And
then Six Flags. I really liked. I'm not the biggest Six Flags fan in the world. We went to Six Flags Great America outside of Chicago a couple years ago. Had a really, really good time. And this was pre-Max Force, but if I have to pick a Six Flags park, I will go Great America.
Interesting.
So,
but I haven't. I've only been to a handful. I've been to Six Flags America. Will agree, not a ton special to write home about. And then I've been to Six Flags over Texas, and it's been years, but I've been to Six Flags over Georgia. So I mean, I'd need to probably experience more of what the Six Flags chain has to offer. But right now, I'm gonna just stick where I am with Great America and not actively seek it out unless I really, really have to.
no, you're good. There's nothing wrong being wrong. I like you. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's okay. That's fine. Anyway, sometime frills. Would you rather go to California's Great America? Seems like there was a little bit of scuttlebutt about that earlier. Or see Velocicoaster get rethemed to Guy Fieri.
Oh my gosh.
Give me that Guy Fieri coaster
Yes.
every day of the week because, first of all, I know they would pull it off
Yeah.
and it would be incredible.
That'd be something else, man, if they actually did that.
I just have to ask, am I gonna be able to get my hair bleached in line?
Yes.
If you can't, there is at least you exit not through the gift shop, but through a Chicken Guy restaurant.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You get
Are
one
they
of
gonna
those.
have? Is it just gonna be all big boy seats then?
You know what? I would love that. I'd be very cool with that. So
Right?
You know what? It would be, and you'd also get those free button-up flaming shirts too.
ooh.
That'd be great.
All right. Well,
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a Buzzbars flaming Hawaiian shirt like that? Oh, listen,
Now we're talking.
listen.
Gabby, if
Shit,
you're
person.
listening, can you get on that? Thank you.
It's already going to be posted. Don't worry.
Yep.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so I think the consensus there was Guy Fieri. Have not been out to California's Great America. I guess you guys don't like it for some reason. I don't know why,
Hey,
but
don't you guys me. I've never been.
That
All right.
place is hell. That place sucks so much. I hate that place.
Nobody else hates it besides Mike, and it's fun.
okay. Well,
So, yeah, there's a running gag on the show. He would rather commit a homicide than go back, I guess.
It would be better served to be an office park than an amusement park.
That got dark real quick.
Yeah.
Wow.
I said it.
yeah, really.
0 to 100, baby. Let's go.
Let me steal one of your catchphrases. Moving on.
One of us.
Parker wants to know what drink best represents your favorite coaster and why.
Oh.
Is it time, boys?
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So my favorite coaster would best be described, which is Velocicoaster, would best be described as a False Idol Brewing Chata Triple New England IPA. Now, it's filling. It gives you a lot. It's full of awesome airtime, or hops like Mosaic, Lotus, Citra, and Mandarina Bavaria. Lots of hops. You have that amazing hop or negative airtime, whatever the hell that Mosasaurus roll is. It's just a perfect bodied beer and coaster.
False Idol, if you're listening to this, you should sponsor our podcast and not theirs, because you're getting a lot of airtime right now. But
That is perfect.
I'm good now.
okay, you good?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
No.
Okay, well, anyway, for me, favorite coaster, Fury 325. I think it would actually be, this is going to sound terrible, it's water, because it goes down quick and it's incredibly smooth. Boo this man.
Marcus, what's going on over
Don't worry
there?
about it. Don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. I would say.
Don't make fun of me.
I'm not. I'm just giggling
I figured.
with you, not at you.
That's fair.
That's different. I love you too much for that, Andrew. You're good.
I know. I appreciate that.
For me, well, I don't even know. I don't even have a favorite beer. Blue Moon for Mike. No. My favorite beer is it's a small brewery in Columbus. Oh shit, what was the name of that? Shit, what was the name of that? Mark,
He
go.
doesn't even remember.
Go while I haven't had it in 9 months. Excuse me. Move away. I haven't been back yet. You person. See, all I see is pictures of your wedding, Mark. I can't get pictures of the beer. Oh my god.
Widowmaker?
No, it's from the Alum Creek Brewery in northern Columbus.
Oh,
Yeah, like Beach Blonde, I think it is. Bleach Blonde Ale. Yeah, I think that's it.
close enough.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's phenomenal. The first time I had that, I went. It just blew me away, and then I just did it again and again and again, which is exactly what I did with Velocicoasters or Blue Streak.
What?
Billy,
He lost it, man. He lost
Billy.
it.
Still Vengeance, yes.
Yeah, Blue Streak, Steel Vengeance, same ride.
Same thing.
Same experience. Right next to each other.
Right down to the holes in the tunnel.
It's one. Oh, I was talking Cedar Point Blue Streak, but you want to go? Okay, all right.
Wow.
We're on fire tonight, boys. Let's go.
That wave turn, boys.
Oh God.
Oh, Mark.
All right. So for Steel Vengeance, this isn't my favorite beer, but luckily it is one of my favorites. Had to choose a beer from a brewery kind of close by Cedar Point. So from Great Lakes Brewing, I'm going with Edmund Fitzgerald Porter. I don't know why, but when I think of Steel Vengeance, a darker beer comes to mind. So they surprisingly don't have very many dark beers. So Edmund Fitzgerald Porter it is.
There we go. All right.
There you go.
Next question is my fellow North Carolinian Eric with a K.
Love him.
He's actually got two questions, and the first one I guess is for you guys only. It says, if your face were to be photoshopped onto a movie character, who would it be?
Huh.
Just put me on like Michael Cera in Superbad or something.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Does that make me Jonah Hill in Superbad?
All right, Jonah, that's enough.
Does that make me Jonah Hill or does that make me Seth Rogen in Superbad?
Oh my gosh. Probably Jonah Hill.
I mean,
And obviously
news
Marcus
is-
is McLovin.
oh my
You
god.
shut your whore mouth.
Fake
You know what?
fake ID, what? Chicka.
First of all, I'm older than both of you. Second of all, we can change just a little bit if you want. I would be Ramathorn from Super Troopers.
Oh, you gonna throw farm at me like that, bud?
Do you like shenanigans?
Evil shenanigans.
Evil shenanigans.
The-
God.
The good news is on the Superbad, neither of you have the steady hand needed to pull off such a procedure or whatever the line was about face swapping in that movie.
Oh,
So
Oh my god.
oh god.
deep cut.
Yes.
What an incredible line. Wow, what a poll, sir. Bravo to you. Clap.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I appreciate that. And then the
Wow.
the question Eric asked me, and then Mike, I think this this is also for you. He wants to know, when am I going to join the Meat Cast and defend North Carolina barbecue?
So I can confirm.
Uh-oh.
You guys don't even know about this yet.
Yeah, thanks for telling us.
I have a logo officially ready for the Meat Cast to drop. Jack the intern
Oh no.
Oh,
has
no.
created me a logo that is going to be incredible.
Oh,
I got-
that's why he was Googling photos of steak at like 1 a.m. the other day.
Yes. He absolutely did. It's incredible. I honestly need to figure that out. I'll hit you with, my patented please stand by.
It's almost like you guys are coming to North Carolina and we could discuss North Carolina barbecue in person. Yeah.
Sorry, I have taste, so
Ooh.
I will not be having barbecue in North Carolina.
Well,
Oh,
anyway,
wow.
what, Marcus, what was your line? I like you, but you're wrong, or something like that?
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong. There's nothing wrong with it.
It's okay to be wrong. It's fine.
Okay.
Just Texans are fine. Whatever. It's
What?
all good.
I was going to say, what you going to say about my Texan barbecue?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
One time I went to Texas, I had Hard 8 barbecue. It was delicious. So,
And Hard 8 is mediocre for Texas barbecue.
Let's say, aren't you
All right.
from California?
I technically was born in Houston, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh,
There you go.
well, never mind. I'm wrong and you were right.
there we go. And then the last question, I guess to answer Eric, whenever Mike feels like it and invites me on, we'll do this
Yes.
again,
Yeah.
and we'll make it happen. Dale, listener of both of our shows, he says his question is more of a statement. He says, fantasy book, which is a professional wrestling term, a C101 stumble, where would it be and what would it look like? And my answer to that question is I will see you guys April 9th at Carowinds, and we're going to find this out just in person. We're just going to let it ride.
Go, baby.
Ooh. I'm excited.
So yeah, if you're on the fence of coming to the Stumble 325 State Line Stumble, far better name, but Stumble 325 in April, I'm gonna be there. And if you want to hang out with some guy on the internet who's not as funny as the three guys I'm interviewing right now, be my guest. We'll have a good time.
Oh my God.
But
Oh no.
that's my answer. I don't know if you guys have anything else you would rather, where we would rather hang out, but I'm all ears.
I mean, I'd go to strip club with you. You all right?
Bro, this is a family podcast. What?
Wait, we're dropping F-bombs. Sorry. They're bleep. They're
Oh my
bleep. We're good.
God.
They're bleep. We're good. We're good.
Oh my God, I can't with you.
You're beautiful.
No, I mean, Universal was definitely one of them that I would have said was up there. But this year, at least this April, the best one, the fantasy one, gotta be Stumble 325.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Dale, come on up from the southeast, wherever you are. I can't even remember where it is, but come on up, come to Carowinds, hang out. We'll have a good time.
There it is.
So
Let's get it.
I'm here for it.
all right, gentlemen. Well, I know you've got a long night of recording ahead of yourselves. So let's. I'm going to give you the opportunity to plug Drunk Riders, Buzz Bars, your personal accounts if you want people following you. Where can the good folks of the Coaster 101 audience find you guys on the worldwide internets?
Oh, good. So Twitter, The Drunk Riders. Facebook, The Drunk Riders. YouTube, The Drunk Riders. And then Instagram, The Drunk Riders. We pretty much have a very unique name, so we're able to monopolize everything on everything.
And Twitch as well. We sometimes stream.
Yeah, we stream on Twitch, twitch.tv / The Drunk Riders.
You can also find us at Buzzbars, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We are Buzzbars Coaster Club, and we are also on TikTok for Buzzbars. I think we're at Buzzbars there.
That's right.
I'm going to double check that real quick. So my apologies for this delay. I think it is indeed at Buzzbars. You can see our super cringy videos that I post maybe like once a year.
That somehow gets 1 million views.
2 million, sir. Thank you.
Excuse me.
Jeez.
Excuse me.
Yeah, the first video of "Can I get a oh yeah?"
Oh boy.
Did you really leave me hanging?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So yeah.
And then
All
you can find a podcast on every streaming platform everywhere
Love it.
that has a podcast on it.
I was going to say every streaming platform where you can find podcast.
Yes.
Well, much like the Drunk Riders, we've got our own unique name. We are Coaster101 on all of the socials. We also have a YouTube channel and a TikTok that we're not super active on, much like the Drunk Riders. We also have a website with a lot of really fun, well-written articles that people do actually read, Marcus. And
Yep.
I have the stats to back it up. So coaster101.com to check that out. If you're listening to this podcast, again, make sure to check out the Drunk Riders. If you're looking for Coaster news, their show dropped the Friday before or the Saturday before this Monday. So go listen to their show and then come back, listen to ours, and hear the ridiculousness twice. But if you're listening to either show, like, rate, review, subscribe, do all those buzzwords. Spotify allows you to review podcasts now, and I think I gave the Drunk Riders their first 5-star review.
Aww.
So you guys are welcome.
I know our first review was not a 5-star.
No, that was on Apple. That was on
okay,
Apple.
that was on Apple.
We got like a 2
it was
on Apple.
Yeah, I gave you a 5 on Spotify to kind of get the ball rolling. So
Incredible. I appreciate you, sir.
I'm here for it. But guys, thank you so much for the time. This was fun hanging out. We'll do it again sometime, probably sooner rather than later.
Yep.
But I'll come back on your show. You guys are always welcome on mine. I think I just invited myself, but whatever.
Yep.
We're friends. We'll make it happen.
I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
Make it happen, Captain.
All right, guys. Well, thanks as always to Justin Mabry of J Music Design for our theme music, and we will talk to you all again soon. See ya.